Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. Psalm 139. There were wounds I never named, pain I couldn't speak, but Jesus knew every syllable before my heart could leave. Carrying weight I never told nobody about, smile on my face while I'm screaming on the inside out. Got trauma from my past that I bury way too deep, wounds from my childhood stealing every night of sleep. Walking through my days like everything's intact, but internally I'm crumbling from the pain I can't unpack. Nobody asks the right questions, nobody really sees the battle that I'm fighting just to make it through the week. Then Jesus showed up in the silence of my room, sat beside the hurt that I had locked inside my tomb. Didn't need me to explain, didn't wait for my confession. He already knew the depth of every hit of depression. Held the pain I couldn't voice, the shame I couldn't share, the parts of me I thought were too broken for his care. He didn't need a speech, didn't ask me to perform, just held me in the wreckage of my internal storm. He knew the words I couldn't say, the tears I held inside. He saw the pain I hid away and met me where I hide. Jesus held the hurt I never spoke out loud, the pain too deep for language, the shame I couldn't sound. He knew every hidden wound before I said a word, and carried what I couldn't name until my voice was heard. Jesus held the hurt I never spoke out loud, turned my silent suffering into strength that makes me proud. Now I'm walking in this healing, standing on solid ground, cause he held what I kept hidden till freedom could be found. See, we live in a world that demands our explanation, wants us to articulate every form of devastation. But sometimes pain runs deeper than vocabulary can reach, and Jesus speaks the language that our mouths cannot teach. He knows the groan's too heavy for words to ever hold, the stories locked inside us that we never really told. The Holy Spirit intercedes when we can't find a phrase. Romans 8:26, that's how he meets us in the maze. I stopped trying to explain what only God could comprehend, stop performing my healing for the validation of my friends. Let Jesus in the places where I couldn't form a sentence, where my pain was so complex it needed divine intervention. And he didn't rush my process, didn't force me to speak, just held the weight I carried when I felt too tired and weak. Became the voice for voices, parts that trauma tried to steal. Now I'm testifying that his presence made me heal. He knew the words I couldn't say, the tears I held inside. He saw the pain I hid away and met me where I hide. Jesus held the hurt I never spoke out loud, the pain too deep for language, the shame I couldn't sound. And he knew every hidden wound before I said a word, and carried what I couldn't name until my voice was heard. Jesus held the hurt I never spoke out loud, turned my silent suffering into strength that makes me proud. Now I'm walking in his healing, standing on solid ground, cause he held what I kept hidden till freedom could be found. You don't have to find a word, he already knows your story. Every unspoken hurt is covered by his glory. So if you're carrying pain that you can't articulate, know that Jesus meets you there, he doesn't make you wait for perfect explanations or eloquent confession. He sees through to your soul, that's his divine expression. No more hiding in the shadows of what you cannot say. He's holding all your broken parts, turning night to day. The hurt you never spoke out loud is safe within his hands. He's the God who knows your trauma and still helps you stay. He knew every hidden wound before I said a word, and carried what I couldn't name until my voice was heard. Jesus held the hurt I never spoke out loud, turned my silent suffering into strength that makes me proud. Now I'm walking in his healing, standing on solid ground, cause he held what I kept hidden till freedom could be found. He held me, he knew me in my hiding, he healed me without words, he freed me.
You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Every tear you couldn't cry, every word you couldn't speak, Jesus held them all for you when you were far too weak.
He held her. You never spoke out loud, you never spoke out loud, and turned your silent pain. He held her into a victory shout. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Psalm 39:23. I was running from my own mind, scared of what I'd find inside. But Jesus walked into the chaos where I was trying to hide. Yeah, had thoughts I was too scared to acknowledge or admit. Dark places in my mind where I didn't want to sit. Intrusive memories playing on a constant loop. Doubts about my faith that made me feel I lose the truth. Questions that felt dangerous, fears that seemed too big. Wrestling with my demons in a mental prison rig. Pushing down the thoughts that threatened everything I knew, till my mind became a battlefield I couldn't break through. Then Jesus showed up in the war zone of my head. Walked right into territory where I feared to tread. Didn't condemn the darkness or the questions that I held. Just sat with me in mental chaos where my sanity had failed. He said, son, I'm not afraid of what you're thinking in the night. I'm not scared of your anxiety or your crisis of the light. Bring me every thought, even the ones that make you shake. I'm the God of your mind and I won't let it break. When my mind became a prison, He walked through every door. Found me in the darkness that I couldn't face before. He met me in the thoughts I was afraid to face. Didn't run from my mental storm, brought His healing grace. When anxiety was screaming and my mind wouldn't rest, He entered every corner and gave my soul His best. He met me in the thoughts I was afraid to face. Turned my mental battlefield into a sacred space. Now I'm taking every thought and making it obey, 'cause Jesus on my mind and He's lighting up the way. See, mental health is spiritual and spiritual is mental too. Can't separate the warfare happening inside of you. The enemy attacks where we think no one can see. In the privacy of thought where we believe we're free. But Jesus goes there boldly to the depths we try to hide. Brings His truth into the lies where fear and doubt resides. 2 Corinthians 10:5. Taking captive every thought, making them obedient to Christ. That's the battle that He fought. I learned to bring my anxious mind before the throne of grace. Now hide my mental struggles but to look them in the face. With Jesus as my counselor, my peace, my steady ground. He's healing broken thinking, turning my confusion around. Now when dark thoughts try to surface, I don't run away in fear. I bring them to the light and let my Savior draw them near. He's not intimidated by the chaos in my brain. He's the God who specializes in transforming mental pain. When my mind became a prison, He walked through every door. Found me in the darkness that I couldn't face before. He met me in the thoughts I was afraid to face. Didn't run from my mental storm, brought His healing grace. When anxiety was screaming and my mind wouldn't rest, He entered every corner and gave my soul His best. He met me in the thoughts I was afraid to face. Turned my mental battlefield into a sacred space. Now I'm taking every thought and making it obey, 'cause Jesus on my mind and He's lighting up the way. Still thought it's too dark, no fear is too deep. He's not afraid of your mind, even when you can't sleep. So bring Him every question, every doubt, every fear, every intrusive thought, every nightmare, every tear. He's not shocked by your struggle, He already knows the battle in your thinking where the enemy flows. Philippians 4:8, think on what is true and right. Let His word renew your mind, let His presence be your light. The battlefield is mental, but the victory is real. When you let Jesus into thoughts you were afraid to feel. He met me in the thoughts I was afraid to face. Didn't run from my mental storm. When anxiety was screaming and my mind wouldn't rest, He entered every corner and gave my soul His best. He met me in the thoughts I was afraid to face. Turn my mental battlefield into a sacred space. Now I'm taking every thought and making it obey, 'cause Jesus on my mind and He's lighting up the way. He's not afraid, He's not scared. He brings peace every time. Just wake up to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When your thoughts become too heavy, when your mind won't let you rest, Jesus meets you in that darkness and He brings His very best.
He's not afraid of your mind,
He's renewing every thought,
turning chaos into peace. The battle's already fought.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. I was fading into nothing, wanted to erase myself, but Jesus sat beside me till I wanted to live again.
Yeah, there were days when existence felt like too much weight to carry. When waking up each morning felt like voluntary suffering. I wanted to disappear, not violently, just quietly fade into nothing, into nowhere, let the memory me evade. Couldn't see a future worth the pain of getting there. Couldn't find a reason strong enough to keep me here. But Jesus didn't panic when I told him how I felt. Didn't give me platitudes that made me feel I needed help. He just stayed, sat beside me in the darkness of my room. Didn't try to fix me fast or rush me from my tomb. Just his presence in the silence when I had no words to say. That quiet, steady love that didn't push me to be okay. He didn't quote me verses to tell me I should pray more. Just tell me when I couldn't hold myself anymore. And slowly, imperceptibly, his presence changed the air. Made the thought of living feel a little less unfair.
When I wanted to fade away, he refused to let me go. His love became the anchor when I was sinking low.
When I wanted to disappear, Jesus stayed until I didn't want to. Didn't leave me in my darkness, walked me through what I was going through. When the weight of being alive felt like too much to bear, his presence was the reason I found strength to still be here. When I wanted to disappear, Jesus stayed until I didn't want to. Turned my death wish into life wish, showed me there was more to do. Now I'm standing on the other side of that desperate night. Cause he loved me back to living, brought me back into the light. Yeah, see, suicidal thoughts don't always look like people think. Sometimes it's just exhaustion standing right there on the brink of giving up the fight because the battle feels too long. And you're tired of pretending that you're brave and that you're strong. Jesus met me in that place where hope had all but died. Didn't shame me for my weakness or tell me I hadn't tried. He validated my pain while giving me a reason not to quit. Reminded me my story wasn't over, this was just one chapter in it. He showed me people who would need my testimony one day. Kids who need to hear that darkness doesn't always stay. That there's power in surviving what try to take you out. That your pain can be transformed into someone else's route. Now I'm living not just for me but for every soul that's breaking. Who needs to know that Jesus stays when you feel like forsaking everything, including yourself, in the will to carry on. He's the God who holds you through the night until you see the dawn.
When I wanted to fade away, he refused to let me go. His love became the anchor when I was sinking low.
When I wanted to disappear, Jesus stayed until I didn't want to. Didn't leave me in my darkness, walked me through what I was going through. When the weight of being alive felt like too much to bear, his presence was the reason I found strength to still be here. When I wanted to disappear, Jesus stayed until I didn't want to. Turned my death wish into life wish, showed me there was more to do. Now I'm standing on the other side of that desperate night. Cause he loved me back to living, brought me back into the light.
If you're in that dark place now, where you wanna slip away, hold on just a little longer. Jesus is here to stay. He won't abandon you in darkness, won't leave you all alone. His love is stronger than your pain. Hey, he's bringing you back home, to life, to purpose, to the reason you were made. The enemy wants you gone, but Jesus wants you safe. So when the lies say you're a burden, when they say you'll be better gone, oh, that's the voice of hell, not heaven. Jesus says you still belong. Your life has meaning, has a purpose, has a story yet to tell. And he'll stay beside you, fight until you rise up from this hell.
When I wanted to disappear, Jesus stayed until I didn't want to. Didn't leave me in my darkness, walked me through what I was going through. When the weight of being alive like too much to bear, his presence was the reason I found strength to still be here. When I wanted to disappear, Jesus stayed until I didn't want to. Turned my death wish into life wish, showed me there was more to do. Now I'm standing on the other side of that desperate night. Cause he loved me back to living, brought me back into the light. He stayed with me through the darkness. He held me close when I was breaking. He gave me hope when I had none. He saved my life. Now I'm away.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. Jeremiah 29:11. I I was at war with myself, trying to erase who I was born to be. But Jesus saw the real me and refused to let me disappear.
Yeah, I sabotaged every good thing that came into my life. Destroyed relationships, opportunities, cut deep with my own knife. Convinced myself I didn't deserve the blessings that I had, so I burned them to the ground, made sure the outcome would be bad. Self-destructive patterns running deep inside my DNA. Punishing myself for mistakes I made yesterday. Couldn't look at my reflection without seeing all my shame, so I tried to kill the person staring back without a name. But Jesus saw the version of me that I was trying to erase, the one created in His image before I fell from grace. He looked past my self-hatred and my toxic broken ways. Saw the man He designed me to be through all the self-inflicted haze. Didn't let me bury who I was beneath my guilt and pain. Kept calling out my identity even when I tried in vain. To destroy it, to forget it, to pretend it never lived. Jesus fought for my true self when I had nothing left to give. When I was my own worst enemy, He saw who I could be. Fought to save the version of me I was trying to kill internally. He saw the version of me I tried to destroy, the person I was meant to be before the pain deployed. When I was sabotaging everything I touched with shame, He called me by my real identity, not my destructive name. He saw the version of me I tried to destroy, restored what I had broken, gave back what guilt had destroyed. Now I'm living in the freedom of who I was made to be, cause Jesus saved me from myself and set the real me free. Self-sabotage is subtle, it's the lie that you're not worth it. The voice that says you don't deserve good things beneath the surface. It's the hand that pushes love away when it gets too close. The fear of being happy cause you're waiting for the ghost of your past to come and haunt you. Prove you're not enough, so you ruin it yourself before the universe get rough. But Jesus interrupted my cycle of self-hate. Said you're not defined by your mistakes, it's not too late. He showed me I was fearfully and wonderfully made, even when I couldn't see it through the mess that I had laid. That my identity was rooted in what He declared, not in my performance or the burden that I carried. Now I'm learning to accept the good without expecting doom, to receive love without destroying it or leaving the room. Jesus is retraining me to see myself through His eyes, where I'm worthy, I'm beloved, I'm His masterpiece's prize. When I was my own worst enemy, He saw who I could be. Fought to save the version of me I was trying to kill internally. He saw the version of me I tried to destroy, the person I was meant to be before the pain deployed. When I was sabotaging everything I touched with shame, He called me by my real identity, not my destructive name. He saw the version of me I tried to destroy, restored what I had broken, gave back what guilt had destroyed. Now I'm living in the freedom of who I was made to be, cause Jesus saved me from myself and set the real me free. You don't have to punish yourself for the mistakes you made. Jesus took the punishment. Your debt has been paid. Stop destroying the masterpiece that God designed. Stop letting shame dictate the borders of your mind. You're not the sum of every failure, every fall. You're a child of the Most High, standing tall. The enemy wants you at war with who you are, wants you to destroy yourself and never go far. But Jesus sees your destiny, your purpose, and your worth. He's restoring the real you, bringing heaven to earth. He saw the version of me I tried to destroy, the person I was meant to be before the pain deployed. When I was sabotaging everything I touched with shame, He called me by my real identity, not my destructive name. He saw the version of me I tried to destroy, restored what I had broken, gave back what guilt had destroyed. Now I'm living in the freedom of who I was made to be, cause Jesus saved me from myself and set the real me free. He saved me, He saw me, restored me, I'm free again.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18.
I was fighting battles in the dark alone, wars that nobody could see or know. But Jesus saw me when I couldn't hold on, and He pulled me out, made me whole. I was smiling on the surface but dying inside, fighting demons every night that I couldn't confide to anyone around me. Kept it all concealed while I was breaking down behind the shield. Nobody knew about the war in my head, the thoughts that kept me up lying in my bed, the fear that gripped me when I was alone, the battle for my mind, the weight I never shown. I wore the mask so well, played the part while inside I was falling apart, laughing with friends but screaming within, pretending I was good while losing to sin. The enemy whispered lies every single day, told me I was worthless, told me I won't make it anyway. And I believe him cause the pain was so real. couldn't see the truth, couldn't see or feel. But Jesus saw the battle that I tried to hide. He saw every tear that I cried inside. When I couldn't even pray, couldn't find the words, He was already fighting, making sure I'd be heard. I was drowning in silence, nobody could tell, fighting for my life in my personal hell. But God stepped in when I was going under, pulled me from the darkness with His thunder. Jesus pulled me out of the battle, no one knew I was fighting. When the war was internal and the pain was biting, He showed up strong when I was barely surviving. Gave me new life when my hope was dying. Nobody saw the struggle, nobody knew the cause, but Jesus found me right where I was lost. In a battle that was hidden, in a war unseen, He pulled me out and made me clean. Let me tell you about the nights I couldn't breathe, when anxiety had me and I couldn't leave. My own thoughts that were holding me captive, the mental prison that was so reactive. I fought addiction that nobody knew about, struggled with temptation filled with doubt. Fought shame that kept me isolated and alone, wrestled with the past that I never shown. People saw me strong but I was barely standing. The invisible war was so demanding, and I couldn't tell nobody what I faced. Felt like I was losing every single race, but God was working even when I couldn't see. He was fighting battles on behalf of me when I was too weak to even lift my hands. He was executing His perfect plans. He sent His Spirit when I needed strength. Went to any depth, went to any length, to rescue me from what was killing me slow, to pull me out from the undertow. Drowning in silence, nobody could tell, fighting for my life and my personal hell. But God stepped in when I was going under, pulled me from the darkness with His wonder. Jesus pulled me out of the battle, no one knew I was fighting. When the war was internal and the pain was biting, He showed up strong when I was barely surviving. Gave me new life when my hope was dying. Nobody saw the struggle, nobody knew the cause, but Jesus found me right where I was lost. In a battle that was hidden, in a war unseen, He pulled me out and made. To everyone fighting battles in silence tonight, know that Jesus sees you, He's ready to fight. You don't have to hide your struggle anymore. He's the warrior who's been fighting for your freedom, your healing, your peace of mind. He's the God who leaves no soldier behind. Even when nobody else can see your pain, He's there in the battle, calling your name. Jesus pulled me out of the battle, no one knew I was fighting. When the war was internal and the darkness was biting, He showed up strong when I was barely surviving. Gave me new life, now my faith is thriving. Nobody saw the struggle, nobody knew the war, but Jesus found me broken on the floor. In a battle that was hidden, in a fight no one saw, He pulled me out and gave me more.
He reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep water, Psalm 18:16. If you're fighting battles that nobody knows, Jesus sees you, that's how grace flows. You're not alone in your secret war. He's fighting for you, that's what He came for. The battle may be hidden, but the victory is real. Jesus pulled me out and now I'm healed.
From the war that no one knew, He can do the same for you.
I am the Lord who heals you. Exodus 15:26. They said terminal, but heaven said differently. Medical report said no, but God's report said yes.
They called my family in, said prepare for the worst case. Told them get affairs in order, there's nothing left to chase. No more treatments, no more options. Medical science reached its end, but the doctors gave up on me. Jesus didn't sign a paper, my true friend. Stepped into that hospital room with hope that left the building
choosing. Psalm 1 out of 3:3 says he heals all diseases. That's the truth I'm yielding to, not denying what the doctor saw on every scan and test, but believing that the great physician hasn't spoken his final word yet. 2 Kings 20, Hezekiah got his destiny to live it clear. Isaiah told him set his house in order, but he prayed through his tears. God heard him at it 15 years, turned his face from the wall. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper, heard my call. For mercy, for healing, for one more chance at life. He's not limited by medicine, by statistics, or by strife. If cells gon' rogue or organs failing, he's the one who formed them all. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper, I still stand tall. When science said impossible, and hope seemed out of reach, you wrote a different ending. That's what your love will teach. The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus didn't sign the paper. Medical report said done, but heaven had another plan.
The doctors gave up on
But Jesus didn't sign the paper.
I'm a walking miracle, living till
The living started just a moment.
living till it's over.
Now I'm here to tell the story of how God defied the odds.
The doctors gave up on
But Jesus didn't sign paper. Glory to the healer of all. Luke 8:43. The woman with the issue 12 years long. Doctor spent her money, but her condition stayed strong until she touched the hem of Jesus' garment in the crowd. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper. I'm living proof and proud that he's still in the healing business, still performing miracles today. Not to diminish medical science or what doctors do and say, but to acknowledge that there's power beyond what man can comprehend. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper to the end. Jeremiah 32:27, next is anything too hard for me? The answer's no impossibilities, bow and sit over death, over every diagnosis given. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper, now I'm living. Proof that God's still on the throne, still sovereign over life, still able to speak healing, still cutting through like a knife, through hopelessness and despair, bringing hope where there was none. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper, his will be done. When science said impossible and hope seemed out of reach, you wrote a different ending, that's what your love will teach.
Gave up on me.
Medical report said done, but heaven had another plan.
The doctors gave up on
But Jesus didn't sign the paper.
I'm a walking miracle, living testimony.
Testimony. Now I'm here to tell the story of how God defied the odds.
Doctors gave up on
But Jesus didn't sign the paper.
Matthew 19:26 declares with God, all things are possible, not hard. The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus held the final card.
The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus didn't sign the paper. Medical science reached its end, but God had just begun. The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus didn't sign the paper. The battle's already won, I'm standing here against the odds. A miracle they can't explain. The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus didn't sign the paper. He broke every chain. This is supernatural intervention. This is power beyond human names. The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus didn't sign the paper. Now the whole world understands His power, His mercy, His sovereign will. The doctors gave up on me, but Jesus never will. So I give honor to physicians, grateful for their dedicated care. But ultimate authority belongs to the one who breathed me life in there. When I was formed in my mother's womb, He knew every day I lived. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper, had more years to give. For His purposes, for His glory, for His name to be made known. That He's still Jehovah Rapha, healing power from His throne. Reaches down to hospital beds, to the hopeless and the sick. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper. His love runs deep and thick, through every vein, through every cell, restoring what was lost. The doctors gave up on me, Jesus didn't sign the paper, He paid the cost.
He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. I couldn't feel anything anymore. Emotionally flatlined, but His love kept beating when my heart declined.
I hit a wall with feeling nothing, felt safer than feeling pain. Shut down my emotions, let apathy run through my veins. Too many disappointments, too much hurt to process right. So I numb myself completely, turned my heart to stone at night. Couldn't cry, couldn't laugh, couldn't connect with anyone.
just going through the motions till each empty day was done. Depression took my passion, anxiety stole my joy. Let me hollow, let me empty everything it could destroy. Then Jesus showed up in the numbness with a steady beat. His love became the rhythm when my heart couldn't compete with the weight of all the trauma that had shut my system down. He became my post, my lifeline when I started to drown. He didn't force me to feel before I was ready to heal. Just kept his love consistent, let it be steady and real. Like a heartbeat in the silence, like breath when you can't breathe. His love sustained me through the numbness, wouldn't let me leave when I couldn't feel a thing. When my heart went cold, his love kept pumping life in me, more precious than gold. When my heart went numb, his love became my pulse, kept me alive when I felt dead no matter what results. When emotional exhaustion took everything I had, his love was the heartbeat keeping me from going mad. When my heart went numb, his love became my pulse, steady and faithful when my feelings were in convulse. Now I'm slowly coming back to life with every beat, cause his love was the rhythm that sustained my every need. See, emotional numbness is a trauma response, it's real. It's your body's way of saying I can't handle how I feel. So you shut it down completely, build walls around your soul. But Jesus doesn't abandon you when you lose control. He becomes the thing you can't be in your weakest state. When you can't muster faith, the hope his love will not abate. Romans 5:8 says, while we were weak, Christ died for us. His love ain't based on our emotions or our spiritual plus. I learned that faith isn't feeling, it's choosing to believe that God is still God, even when I can't perceive his presence through my numbness or my emotional distress. He's working in the background, giving strength when I have less. Now I'm healing slowly, feeling, learning it's okay to hurt. That numbing all my pain won't make me better, only worse. Jesus walked me through the thought and held me when I felt again. His love the constant heartbeat from beginning to the end. When I couldn't feel a thing, when my heart went cold, his love kept pumping life in me, more precious than gold. When my heart went numb, his love became my pulse, kept me alive when I felt dead no matter what results. When emotional exhaustion took everything I had, his love was the heartbeat keeping me from going mad. When my heart went numb, his love became my pulse, steady and faithful when my feelings were in convulse. Now I'm slowly coming back to life with every beat, cause his love was the rhythm that sustained my every need. Really don't have to feel it for his love to be true. Even in the numbness, he's still carrying you. So if you're emotionally exhausted, if you can't feel anymore, know that Jesus is your heartbeat, he's what you're fighting for. His love doesn't fluctuate based on your mental state. It's constant, it's eternal, it will never dissipate. He's the pulse in your numbness, the life when you're dead inside, the steady, faithful rhythm that will never be denied. So rest in his consistency when your emotions fail. His love is the foundation that will always prevail. When my heart went numb, his love became my pulse, kept me alive when I felt dead no matter what results. When emotional exhaustion took everything I had, his love was the heartbeat keeping me from going mad. When my heart went numb, his love became my pulse, steady and faithful when my feelings were in convulse. Now I'm slowly coming back to life with every beat, cause his love was the rhythm that sustained my every need. He's my heartbeat, he's my rhythm, he's my lifeline, his love's my spark, my restart. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail, they are new every morning. Lamentations 3:23. When you can't feel his presence, when your heart has gone cold, his love is still beating, a rhythm steady and bold. His love is your pulse, even when you're numb, keeping you I love.
Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 and go after the one that is lost? Luke 15:4.
I was running away from everything, from my calling, from my pain, from my past. But Jesus left everything behind to chase me down until I was found at last. I ran from responsibility, ran from commitment too. Ran from relationships that got too close to the truth. Ran from my potential, ran from what I could be. Ran from the mirror, ran from reality. Every time life got real, I would disappear. Change my number, move cities, run from what I fear. Burn bridges behind me so I couldn't go back. Kept moving forward but was losing track of who I was, what I wanted, where I belong. Running became my rhythm, escape became my song. But no matter how far I ran or how fast I moved, Jesus was right there chasing his love, never removed. He pursued me through my chaos, through my self-destruction, through every bad decision and toxic instruction. I built walls around my heart, he tore them down. I ran too hard, he came to be found. I was running from myself, running from my call, but Jesus never stopped, he pursued through it all. I ran from everything, but Jesus ran after me. Chased me through my darkness till his light was all I see. When I was done with faith and hoping every good thing, he wasn't done with me, kept pursuing like a king. I ran from everything, but Jesus ran after me. Left the 99 to find the one, and that one was me. Now I'm standing in the love that wouldn't let me go, cause he ran faster than my fears and wouldn't say no. See, gospel is about a God who chases down the lost, not a distant judge waiting, but a savior counting costs. He leaves heaven's throne to find the ones who run away. That's the Jesus of the Bible, that's the God who came to stay. I thought if I ran far enough, he'd finally let me be, that my sin would be too much and he'd give up on me. But his love is more relentless than my need to escape. He pursued me to the end of myself, wouldn't let me break. Prodigal son story playing out in my own life. Ran from the Father's house in the darkness and strife, but he was watching, waiting, running when he saw me return. With open arms and celebration, no condemnation to earn. Now I understand that grace isn't passive, it's pursued. It's God chasing after rebels with the gospel truth, that with love beyond our running value, past our shame. Jesus ran the ultimate race so we could know his name. Running from my call, but Jesus never stopped, he pursued through it all. I ran from everything, but Jesus ran after me. Chased me through my darkness till his light was all I see. When I was done with faith and hoping every good thing, he wasn't done with me, he kept pursuing like a king. I ran from everything, but Jesus ran after me. Left the 99 to find the one, and that one was me. Now I'm standing in the love that wouldn't let me go, cause he ran faster than my fears and wouldn't take no. You can't outrun his mercy, can't escape his grace. No matter where you're hiding, he'll find you in that place. Stop running from the one who died to set you free. Stop hiding from the love that pursued you to Calvary. He didn't wait for you to clean up or get it all together. He chased you in your mess, in your worst, in your whatever. The good shepherd leaves it all to find a wandering sheep. That's the heart of God, that's the love so deep. You're not too far, not too lost, not too broken to be found. Jesus is pursuing you right now, turn around. I ran from everything, but Jesus ran after me. Chased me through my darkness till his light was all I see. When I was done with faith and hoping every good thing, he wasn't done with me, kept pursuing like a king. I ran from everything, but Jesus ran after me. Left the 99 to find the one, and that one was me. Now I'm standing in the love that wouldn't let me go, cause he ran faster than my fears and wouldn't take no. He chased me down
Through the darkness,
he found me,
my running,
he saved me,
for myself,
he loved me.
that's the gospel.
He chased me down,
Darkness,
he found me,
my running,
he saved me,
myself,
he loved me.
that's the gospel.
I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Jeremiah 31. You can't outrun his love, you can't escape his grace. Wherever you've been running, he's already in that place. He ran after me when I was running away, and he'll run after you every single day.
He has delivered us from the domain of darkness and transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son. Colossians 1:13. I was sentenced to death by my choices, by my past, but Jesus walked into my prison and rewrote my fate at last. Yeah.
Heavy 808 drop, the change right away.
Yeah, should have been dead by 21. Statistics said so. Living in the streets where the violence never let go. Lost too many friends to bullets, drugs, and jail. Every day was borrowed time, walking through hell. Made choices that should have ended me 100 times. Should have overdosed, should have died from my crime. Should have been another statistic on the evening news. But somehow I'm still breathing, still here to choose. I was locked in my own prison. Bars made a sentence, sentenced by my past with no way to win. Then Jesus showed up in my cell one night. He sat down beside me, brought his holy light. He didn't come to judge me for the life I live. Came to offer freedom, came to forgive. Said your sentence haven't changed, paid it on the cross. What the enemy meant to destroy, I came to recross. I should have been gone, should have been dead, but he took my sentence and gave life instead. I shouldn't be alive, but Jesus sat in my cell, changed my sentence from death to a story to tell. When the verdict was guilty and my fate was sealed, he took the punishment and my freedom he revealed. I shouldn't be alive, but Jesus changed my sentence, turned my death row into divine deliverance. Now I'm living proof that grace can break any chain, cause he sat in my prison and took all my shame. Some of y'all locked in physical cells reading this now. Some locked in mental prisons, don't know how to break free from the shame and the guilt you carry. But Jesus is the key, his blood is legendary. He sat with Paul and Silas in that Philippian jail, caused an earthquake, broke the chains, never fails. He's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. The God who opens prison doors. I shouldn't be here, but his mercy intervened. Should have been destroyed by everything I've seen, but grace is stronger than my past or my mistakes. His love is the power that shatters and breaks every chain, every sentence, every guilty verdict read. He already paid the price, already blessed. So now I walk in freedom, though I don't deserve this life. Living testimony of the power of Christ. I should have been gone, should have been dead, but he took my sentence and gave life instead. I shouldn't be alive, but Jesus sat in my cell, changed my sentence from death to a story to tell. When the verdict was guilty and my fate was sealed, he took the punishment and my freedom he revealed. I shouldn't be alive, but Jesus changed my sentence, turned my death row into divine deliverance. Now I'm living proof that grace can break any chain, cause he sat in my prison and took all my shame. The chains are breaking, the doors are opening. His blood speaks louder than your condemnation. Listen, if you're in a cell right now feeling hopeless, know that Jesus specializes in the seemingly hopeless. He came to set the captives free. That's his mission, to give sight to the blind and release from prison. Your past doesn't define your future anymore. His grace is the key that unlocks every door. You shouldn't be here, but his mercy made a way. Now live for the one who gave you today. I shouldn't be alive, but Jesus sat in my cell, changed my sentence from death to a story to tell. When the verdict was guilty and my fate was sealed, he took the punishment and my freedom he revealed. I shouldn't be alive, but Jesus changed my sentence, turned my death row into divine deliverance. Now I'm living proof that grace can break any chain, cause he sat in my prison and took all my shame. He broke my chains, set me free. He saved my soul from destruction. Now I'm free. So if the sun sets you free, you will be free indeed. John 8:36. Every breath is borrowed mercy, every day is grace renewed. I shouldn't be standing here, but his love broke through. He sat in my cell and changed everything from death to life. Now I'm free to sing.
And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm and steadfast. 1 Peter 5:10.
One night, changed everything I had. Lost it all, thought I'd never get it back. Yeah. But Jesus specializes in resurrection. He brought back to life what I thought was past redemption. I remember that night, everything fell apart, when my world collapsed and broke my heart. Lost my job, lost my home, lost my way. Felt like everything I built just washed away. Lost relationships that I thought would last. Lost my future buried in my past. Lost my hope, lost my faith, lost my fight. Everything died in a single night. I looked around at the ruins of my life, all the
everything I worked for turned to dust. Everything I trusted turned to rust. Thought I'd never recover from the fall. Thought I lost it permanently, lost it all. Thought that chapter was closed, that door was sealed. Thought my destiny was something that would never be revealed. But God was working in the valley low, in the place where nothing seemed to grow. He was planting seeds I couldn't see, preparing resurrection for someone like me. When everything was buried and gone, when I thought I'd never carry on, God was working underground, getting ready to turn it all around. I lost everything in one night, thought it was the end, but Jesus returned what I thought was dead, made me whole again. What I buried in the grave, He called back to life. What looked like my ending was just the start of His might. He restored what was broken, revived what had died, brought back to life what I thought I'd never see alive. And one night I lost it all, but in His time He gave it back. Jesus returned what I thought was dead, put me back on track. Let me tell you what restoration looks like. When God moves in power through the darkest night, it's not just getting back what you had before, it's God giving you more than you asked for. He didn't just restore my situation, He gave me a brand new revelation. Showed me that what I lost was holding me back from the greater blessing that was on my track. What I thought was death was really preparation. What looked like the end was divine orchestration. God was clearing out the old to make room for the new, taking what was dead and making breakthrough. He restored my purpose, gave me vision clear, brought back my confidence, removed my fear, restored my peace, my joy, my strength. I went to every depth, went to any land. Now I'm standing on the other side of loss, understanding why I had to bear that cross. Because the resurrection couldn't come without a tomb. The restoration couldn't come without making room. When everything was buried and gone, when I thought I'd never carry on, God was working underground, getting ready to turn it all around. I lost everything in one night, thought it was the end, but Jesus returned what I thought was dead, made me whole again. What I buried in the grave, He called back to life. What looked like my end, it was just the start of His might. He restored what was broken, revived what had died, brought back to life what I thought I'd never see alive. And one night I lost it all, but in His time He gave it back. Jesus returned what I thought was dead, put me back on track. He's the God of restoration, the God of new creation. What you think is dead, He can resurrect. What you think is lost, He can reconnect. No situation is too far gone, no dream is buried too long. Jesus specializes in bringing back to life what the enemy tried to kill with strife. I lost everything in one night, thought hope was gone, but Jesus returned what I thought was dead, made me strong. What I mourned in the darkness, He restored in the light. What looked like my funeral became my resurrection sight. He restored what was broken, revived what had died, multiplied what I lost. Now I'm standing in my stride. And one night I lost it all, but His timing was perfect and right. Jesus returned what I thought was dead. Now I'm walking in His mind. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. And instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. Isaiah 61:7. If you lost everything in one night, know that Jesus is preparing your restoration right. What you think is dead, He's about to resurrect. Trust His time and His plan is perfect. God is the master of returning what was lost, no matter the price, no matter the cost. What died in your life, He can bring back to breathe. Jesus specializes in resurrection after death. When my faith was barely breathing, almost gone, He loved me like I never doubted all along. When I couldn't even pray or believe, His love for me didn't decrease. I was at the lowest point of my belief, couldn't find the words, couldn't find relief. Questioned everything I used to know. Face a week, I didn't think it'd grow. I stopped praying cause I felt like a fake. Stopped reading cause my heart would break. Stopped going to church cause I felt out of place, like I didn't deserve to see His face. My faith was small, almost invisible. I felt unworthy, felt so miserable. Thought God had given up on me for sure, cause my belief wasn't strong or pure. But that's when Jesus showed me something real. His love don't depend on how I feel. When my faith was at its absolute worst, He loved me like I was faithful first. He met me in my doubt, in my fear, whispered I'm still here, I'm always near. Your faith may fade, but mine never will. I love you now and I always will. When I had nothing left to give, when I barely could changed, he called my name. He found me in my lowest faith and loved me like it was my highest. When I was barely holding on, his grip was still the tightest. Didn't wait for me to be strong to show me grace. He loved me in my weakest faith, in my lowest place. He didn't love me less when I believed the least. His faithfulness to me never decreased. When my faith was dying, barely alive, he loved me like my faith was thriving. Yeah. Let me tell you something about the grace of God. It don't require that you measure up or beat the odds. When you're tired of trying, tired of the fight, his love still holds you through the night. I learned that faith isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, being worth it. To admit when you're struggling, when you're low, and trusting God still loves you even though he doesn't love you more when faith is high, or love you less when you question why. His love is constant like the morning sun. It's there before the day's begun. So when you're exhausted from pretending, when your faith feels like it's ending, know that Jesus meets you right there. In your lowest faith, he still cares. He's not disappointed in your doubt. He's not giving up or walking out. He's drawing closer in your weakness, showing you his faithfulness. When I had nothing left to give, when I barely could believe, his love remained the same. He never changed, he called my name. He found me in my lowest faith and loved me like it was my highest. When I was barely holding on, his grip was still the tightest. Didn't wait for me to be strong to show me grace. He loved me in my weakest faith, in my lowest place. Didn't love me less when I believed the least. His faithfulness to me never decreased. When my faith was dying, barely alive, he loved me like my faith was thriving. Oh yeah. To every time believer tonight who's running low on faith and fight, Jesus loves you just the same. Your weak faith doesn't change his name. He's still faithful when you're not. He's still fighting every battle that you fought. Your lowest faith is enough for him, cause his love for you will never dim.
He found me in my lowest faith and loved me like it was my highest. When I was barely holding on, he held me through my crisis. Didn't wait for me to be strong to pour out grace. He loved me in my weakest faith, met me in that place. He didn't love me less when I believed the least. His mercy and his faithfulness never ceased.
When my faith was dying, on his knees, he loved me back to life with perfect peace. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love. Psalm 3. If your faith is low tonight, that's okay. Jesus loves you anyway. He's not waiting for you to be stronger. He's with you now, not a moment longer. Your weakest faith is enough for him. He'll meet you where you've been and love you back to believing again. His faithfulness has no end.
He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. Proverbs 28:13, I locked the door, but he had the key. The room where I buried everything, he walked right in.
I had a room inside my heart where I kept what no one could see. The secrets and the failures, the parts I never set free. Locked it tight, threw away the key, painted over the door. But Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, couldn't hide anymore. From his penetrating love that sees through every wall. Hebrews 4:13 says nothing's hidden from his sight at all. Everything's uncovered, exposed before his eyes. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, stripped away the skies. I thought if people really knew me, they would turn and walk away. That rejection was the price of honesty, the cost I have to pay. So I hid behind a smile, behind achievements and success. But Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, saw the mess, and didn't run, didn't judge, didn't condemn what he found there. Just sat down in the middle of my secret, showing he cared. Not about my performance, but about my healing in my heart. Jesus in the room where I hid my shame, gave me a fresh start. I thought exposure meant rejection, I was terrified of light. But you brought illumination that turned my darkness bright. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, brought his mercy where I felt condemned. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. Now I know he's more than just a friend. He's my redeemer, my restorer. He's the one who sets me free. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. Now there's nothing here
1 John 1:7 says, if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. That's the transforming sight. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, invited me to confess. Not to embarrass, but to liberate from the prison of my mess. John chapter 8, the woman caught in adultery brought to the crowd. Religious leaders ready to condemn, accusations shouting loud. But Jesus wrote in the sand, said whoever's without sin cast the first stone. They all left one by one. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame alone, with the one who had authority to condemn, but instead chose grace. Neither do I condemn you, go and sin no more face to face. With mercy that transforms, with love that liberates the bound. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. That's where freedom's found. Not in keeping secrets, but in bringing darkness to the light, where it loses power, where shame can't maintain its grip so tight on my identity and future, on the person I'm becoming new. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, made me through and through and through. I thought exposure meant rejection, I was terrified of light, but you brought illumination that turned my darkness bright. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, brought his mercy where I felt condemned. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. Now I know he's more than just a friend. He's my redeemer, my restorer. He's the one who sets me free. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. Now there's nothing hidden in me. I'm walking in the light now, no more secrets to maintain. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, broke every chain. Condemnation for those who are in Christ. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame that night, and everything changed forever. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, brought his mercy where I felt condemned. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. Now I know he's my forever friend. No more hiding, no more secrets, no more living in the dark. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, left his healing mark. I'm free to be myself now, authentic, honest, real. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame, taught my heart to heal from years of hiding, years of fear. Jesus entered the room where I hid my shame. Now his love is clear.
Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. I said I was fine, but my shoulders were breaking. He saw what I denied and lifted it anyway.
I was wearing my smile like armor, saying I got this every day, while anxiety was crushing me in ways I wouldn't say out loud to anyone. Kept pretending I was strong, but he carried the weight I pretended didn't exist all along. Knew the burden I was bearing, saw behind a confident face. Matthew 23:4 talks about heavy loads we can't displace. Tied him up and put on people's shoulders anyway. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist night and day. I was drowning but kept swimming, sinking but kept treading water, exhausted from the effort of maintaining what I thought I oughta. Project to the world around me, keeping up appearances, but he carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. His deliverance came not when I admitted it, but when he saw the strain. Isaiah 46:4 says, even to your old age I'll sustain and carry you. I've made you when I bear you up. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. Fill my cup.
I was breaking under pressure that I wouldn't name, but you saw through my denial.
Carried it the same. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. The burden I denied on my back was breaking. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. Saw my soul was aching. I didn't ask for help, didn't admit the load, but he carried the weight I pretended didn't exist down the road. Now I'm learning to be honest about what I cannot bear. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist, showing me he cared. 1 Peter 5:7 says cast your anxieties on him because he cares for you, but I kept them locked within, pretending they weren't there, acting like I had control, but he carried the weight I pretended didn't exist, made me whole. By addressing what I wouldn't, by lifting what I denied, by being underneath the burden even when I lied to myself and everyone about how heavy it had grown. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. I'm not alone. Psalm 68:19 says blessed be the Lord who daily bears our burdens. He's the God of our salvation, that's certain. Even when we don't acknowledge, even when we're in denial, he
carries the weight we pretend doesn't exist mile after mile of our journey through this life, of our struggle to maintain the illusion of independence while we're drowning in the strain. He sees, he knows he carries anyway. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. Save the day. I was breaking under pressure that I wouldn't name, but you saw through my denial. Carried it the same. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist, the burden I denied while my back was breaking. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. Saw my soul was aching. I didn't ask for help, didn't admit the low, but he carried the weight I pretended didn't exist down the road. Now I'm learning to be honest about what I cannot bear. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist, showing me he cared.
Galatians 6:2 says, bear one another's burdens. He modeled it first, that's for certain. He carried the weight, saw my need before I could admit a plea.
He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. Now I'm learning to let go. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. Let his strength overflow into areas I kept hidden, struggles I denied. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist by my side. I don't have to fake it anymore, don't have to say I'm fine. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist all the time. Now I'm walking lighter, breathing deeper, free from the denial that kept me bound. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist. In his love I'm found. So to everyone pretending that they're handling it all, or silently collapsing, waiting for the final fall, know that Jesus sees the weight you won't acknowledge that you carry. He's underneath it already. His strength will never vary based on your admission or your ability to confess. He carries the weight we pretend doesn't exist, nothing more, nothing less than perfect love that sees our need before we speak it out. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist, removed all doubt that he's faithful, he's able, he's willing to sustain the burdens that we're bearing, knowledge the name. He carries them regardless because that's who he is. He carried the weight I pretended didn't exist, and it's his.
Denied, but carried. Hidden, but lifted. Pretended, but seen. He carried the weight. I'm finally free.